Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. Let's play some NewsTower. And in this episode, we are going to do a reorganization. And that might mean this will be a little long. If it goes long, I'll probably break it down into a couple of parts. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to do the first 4 floors today. And we'll see how we do. Now, the reason for the reorg is pneumatic tubes make a huge difference in the game. What I've been seeing is that reporters, when they come in, they'll use the tube. They'll send their report up to where this one is. I think those are the 2 that are connected. You can click on them to see. Let's see, is it this one? There we go. Yeah, it shows you your pair. They will use those. And I'm also seeing that these are getting used with the guys dropping it in here for it to race down here. And then this one also, I think, comes down to go to the first floor? I don't recall where I have that one going. Nonetheless, I can do better is what I think. And I have a plan for what I might want to do. I also want to add another generator. We are at 9 floors. And I might go ahead and add the 10th floor. Might need the space because I don't want to store everything. There are a few things that are okay to store. There are a lot of things that really reporters' desks and things that are working stories, if you store those, like reports that are on them will disappear. Or not disappear, they'll drop to the ground. And I haven't figured out if there's a way to get them back into the system or not. I guess at worst we have a week where we don't print a paper, but hopefully I'm going to have the game paused. And in the interest of full disclosure, I do have a full backup of the game at this spot right here, so that if this goes horribly wrong, we can start over and maybe nobody will even ever know about it. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to start by clearing off the first floor. My idea is I'm going to put some bathrooms over here, and I'm going to use this for kind of a catch-all storage area. On the second floor, this is going to be where my generators go. I'm going to add a second generator. We're not like right at the limit right now, but we're getting close. And building a couple of more of these and adding some assemblers and typesetters. This is all going to start taking some power with lights and everything else that needs to go around it. We need to add another bathroom, I think. We do have kind of this one here, but I want a little bit bigger one. So this will be a power floor. We're going to add a generator. Then we're going to rearrange the printer a little bit so that we can get all 6 modules in one shot. Right now, there's not quite enough space to do that. We have 4. This won't quite fit is what I've learned, and that's unfortunate. The other thing that we'll be adding eventually, although we don't have it right now, is the dumbwaiter. And the dumbwaiter is an elevator for boxes. It can carry a few boxes at a time, and it loads up and it'll move between floors. And that's part of the reason that I want to rearrange this just a little bit with respect to where all of these are. Moving the coal, moving the paper to the appropriate spots. That will be something else that we add. Now, I don't have access to the dumbwaiter yet. It costs a little more than the influence that I have available, but we can put a placeholder in for where it will go eventually. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and start moving some things around. And I don't know that these are final resting places. These are just, I need to get them out of the way for a bit. And I have been trying to keep things that are together in that kind of a location kind of grouped so I don't forget. These superlative things, I think I might go ahead and, yeah, we're going to stash these kinds of things, and I'm just going to have to remember that I stashed them and that's where they're available when we come back. So this is actually going to become a bathroom here. Go ahead and move him out, and it is going to be the 3-stall bathroom. So it's going to be this one right here. This fan won't be helpful. We'll put it here for now. I think 100% of the rest of this will go, and we can do that by selecting stuff. I'm going to grab the fan. I feel like that's a good... there's a light there, so I can't do that just yet. I need to move the light as well. Okay, this should work now. The fan is a good centering point, and there we go. And what I could do is even add another stall is what I'm thinking, but I think we're going to hold off on that. I feel like there might be a need for some doors. So we'll go ahead and do this. I'm going to need a door or two in how this layout works. So we'll take a pause on that. This particular elevator is going to go away. We can move this stuff out. There we go. Awesome. And then, of course, we want to change the wall in there. That looks good. We'll go and look at the comfort views a little later, but there's nothing wrong with what we have there right now, so that works just fine. I do like symmetry here, so I'm going to move the mirror just a little bit. It's probably too high there, actually, right? It probably should have been lower. There we go. What a great looking bathroom. Okay, next we'll move a few other of the smaller things. We're going to move the security. I'm going to remove the pneumatic tubes that I have right now. We're going to move security, Nancy here. Her little booth is going to go on the other side of the elevator. I'm sorry, on the other side of the doorway next to the elevator. We'll put her alarm here. So they got to go through her to get to the elevator. Perfect. These are going to end up moving. This guy is going to move a little bit. This elevator goes away. And there might be somebody on that right now. We'll just stash that. Oh, no problem. This moves to the corner. One of the easiest moves of the day. And then those plants that I just moved, I'm going to use plants right now as the space holders for the dumbwaiter. I'm going to end up putting dumbwaiter in here, and it's going to go up a few floors. And we'll see how this plays out as we go, but that should work. This wall is going to move. That's about right. That is about right. I can put a water cooler here. This wall won't need to be there. Doesn't allow you to put walls too close together, you'll notice. I'm just using them, putting them there to store for now. And then we're going to change all of this back to ordinary wallpaper for now. Mostly so that I can see it a little more clearly. Everything stands out a little bit. The other color, I don't know, things blend in. It kind of becomes difficult to find what's sitting there, at least for me. Okay, the printer, okay, well first let's go ahead and finish this piece up. So we're going to end up storing this piece of wall. This can move, very good. Looks like a judge, doesn't he? Got a robe on. We're going to put a generator in here, and that'll be a new generator. So the current generator is here, and that's about where it's going to stay. It might move just a little bit. But a second one will need to be put in right about there. It's going to go all the way up against the wall, and of course there's a light in the way, because that is always the case, 100% of the time. There we go. Now, one thing that I haven't played a lot with, but I don't have it right now, is the coal bin and the paper bin. I do want to go ahead and grab those. You can grab the coal bin from the place you get coal, and I can't remember where. It's probably the mine over here, right? One of these. It is this one. I don't know. I thought that was the elevator place. My apologies. There we go. Grab that. It's only 4 points. And then paper is another one. The paper plant has the paper cabinet. We're going to grab that. Little surprised I hadn't done that already, particularly for the coal. But now we have it. Let's put them to use. So coal is going to go right there. I'm going to turn off comfort so I can see a little better. There we go. And wall is going to be replaced with a different kind of wall. I'm just going to move it here for now, followed by that. We'll stash this one for now. Okay, this is effectively our other generator room now. We will want to put in industrial to control the temperature a little bit. And we will deal with sound and some airflow issues as well. So we're going to put in some fans. Let's see what we got over here. Well, we have air vents. We have one. That'll be helpful. Acoustic panels. I haven't moved any acoustic panels yet. I thought I did. We'll start kicking these around. We're going to have one all the way over here. We're going to have one all the way over here. Finding good use for air vents. We're going to put in some big fans. That is really all I have. While I like the little fans, they're not nearly as efficient as the big ones. So we're going to go find those. Here we go. Oops, not sure what I clicked there. I think there-ish works. We're okay on lighting. Don't feel like there's a whole lot we need to do there. We're going to put another air vent in here, and as you can see, as we're putting these things in, the temperature is starting to get under control a little bit. It's always going to be rough right around here. The same is going to be true over here. This one's not running right now. That's why we're not seeing that. But that's always going to be a situation, and you deal with it the best you can. We don't have to entirely mitigate this. Generally, there aren't going to be people in here. He's going to come in to load coal, and somebody's going to come in to clean. Incidentally, the reason you use the coal bin is it helps control the mess. It produces less waste, so he won't have to come in here as much. Just one little piece of kind of regaining control over what's happening there, I guess. Now, we do have some doors to put in, and in order to do that, we probably do need to get this where it needs to go. So we're going to delete these. Fortunately, these don't cost anything, which is why you don't have to stash those. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to go ahead and stash this. We'll get rid of this. Get rid of this if I can get to it. There we go. I'm going to stash all of these so I don't forget that they're stashed. It's really kind of the plan there. And then this guy ends up going right here. And then the idea is there will be a dumbwaiter that services these right about there. And the interesting thing is because the dumbwaiter is above the floor, this little foot kick out doesn't impact it. And that is fantastic. You're saving a little bit of space when you do that. So we'll come around and see how that really works out here in the very near future. Next, I'm going to go back to my stash. We're going to be putting in some stairs now. I haven't taken the other ones out though, so that is a little problematic. I'm going to need to do that first. Take these out. Now let me see if I can get this in there. It looks like I can. That's going to go to there. Do the same to here. And we're going to do a cross pattern here, basically. This is going to end up going to here, but I haven't moved that yet. So I think that'll do it. We got that and the soap dispenser. Okay. And then there will be one last one that's going to go to there. So the stairs kind of do a zigzag up to this point. That's our 4 floors. We have the printer started. Here's a few things we can stash. This is going to move just a little, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it does sit right about there. We'll come back to that here briefly. First floor right now, though, is how I intend to have it. We might want to adjust lights. We might need to put in a couple of fans. Maybe want to change the wallpaper in a place. But otherwise, that's effectively how that floor looks. This floor is really close to what I want it to look like. I think we're going to move people out, though, so that I don't stomp on them on accident. We do want to put coal in here. If we have any more, we do have another large plant. I think it's going to go... Yeah, and so the same thing is true on the generator here. It can sit where it is. The dumbwaiter will sit where I have that plant right now, but I can't drop it because it's sharing that foot spot. But the dumbwaiter will be above the floor, so it'll be okay. I think maybe we can replicate that by this. Yeah, see how we couldn't put that on the floor there because it would touch, but here it would be okay. That's where the dumbwaiter is going to end up going. So that is great. Put a plant here. Plants do help with temperature and sound, of all things, and smell. So, you know, that one makes sense to me. I think this is basically how I want this floor, though. I want to add a wall here, the wall with a door. And we'll put that right here-ish, if I can. Oh, there's a fan in the way. Got to move the fan. Then we can put that wall in. And, of course, we'll need to add some light here. And, yes, it is off-center a little bit. That's intentional. Go back to standard so that we can see everything. We'll leave the industrial in for the generators, but there you have it. All right, so what we have left, we have the first 2 floors completely done. We've got 2 floors that we need to work on just a little bit. First step, we're going to drag this up to here because that's where we're going to start dropping our print modules. Again, I'm gonna stash fans. Incidentally, you can highlight multiple things at once. Sorry, I didn't quite do that right. So I've got those 4 things all selected. You can hit the plus down here. Stashes all of them at the same time. That can be a big help. Of course, I just took all the light away, and I didn't really want to do that. We'll leave a light right there for now. This is the output. He's going to end up down here. So these things are going to need to move briefly. Not quite where I want to put that, but we're just making space right now. Okay, so whoa. Nope, that's right. You have to click move on this piece, and he's going to go right there. And this wall ends up moving over. If I can do that, there we go. I think I have it right to the, maybe I have an extra space in there. I'm not quite sure. I think that'll get it done. And we're going to move, yeah, I think we're going to put the dish, the sink, the cleaning station we're going to put right here. This will end up moving. I'm not quite sure where to. Let's put it down. Let's go ahead and put it up high, actually, for now. Makes sense to go ahead and migrate some of that stuff up here anyway, because a lot of the workers are going to be further up in the building. Now, it would have been a whole lot easier for me to just say, I'm putting all the generator stuff up here, putting in a dumbwaiter that runs all the way up. The dumbwaiter does skip stairs. I don't think the stairs don't interfere with it. Same with the pneumatic tubes. They don't interfere with one another, and they can pass behind the elevator and all that. So that's all good stuff to know if you're going to try something like this. And then on this floor, I wanted to go ahead and start putting in the actual printer. This assembler is going to end up, I'm not sure where he ends up. Oops, stash. I meant to hit stash there. We're going to stash the stairs. This is currently a room you can't get into. We'll stash that wall. Lots of clocks on that floor. We'll need lights. It's disconnected printer. Yeah. We'll fix that here really quick. Back to the stash. Looks like we're on the stash, so we're just going to drop these in. 1. And there is going to be enough room. That's 2. That's 3, and it'll fit. It's just that acoustic panel I haven't moved yet. And then we start putting them right on the other side of the door. So that would be technically number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That'll be our printers. Printer's now fixed. Need some paper. You know what? We'll take care of that. Get that to stop flashing. There we go. That is effectively our build on those floors. Nope, I did miss one thing. I'm going to put in another bathroom right here. Yeah, that's what I want to do. We're gonna move these folks, get them out of the way. Construction coming. So we're going to put that here, and then we're going to basically just build out a normal bathroom here. It'll be identical to this one, really, is what it comes down to. So toilet, then sink. I like that arrangement. That seems to be working well. There's probably a more efficient way to do it. I just haven't come up with it myself yet, and this is getting it done. So I'm okay with it. And then a sink here. Of course, we need to drop in some mirrors. And we'll keep them lower this time instead of putting them up on the ceiling. Human stuff. Last commode. We're going to need a wall over here. Wall with door. Right there. We lose a space here. Nothing we can do about that, I don't think. But that's okay. And then I'm not sure how I was really intending to have the fans. Maybe we put one here. Center of the light. We have a fan here. We need to put in tile. And that should help tremendously. Yep. A little bit of sound here. Well, we can put in some acoustics. A few other things we can try there. But for now, we're going to not worry about that too much. I was going to put in an air vent. I think that always seems to help a little bit. Won't help with sound, of course. I feel like I did have one other thing. Oh, I think sound could be slightly a factor because we don't have this here. Yeah, that helps a lot there, doesn't it? So that kind of gets rid of that problem for the most part. Maybe we can put in a second one. Yeah, completely get rid of it by putting two in. So eventually we'll have to well, no, we won't have to rethink that. This will be its own little dealy here. And one other option is I could turn this into like one of the workrooms is what I think. Oh, I think I'm actually what I want to do is we're going to put paper because that makes sense, right? And then, yeah, the dumbwaiter will need to come up there. So we're going to move this over to 1, 2. There we go. So that space net isn't exactly wasted. Might want to try to figure out something to put there to improve the environment some, but otherwise, I think we're looking at what we got. This can be industrial, that's not a problem. This will need a light. Back to our stash. And as you can see, from a power perspective, it doesn't look like well, actually, it has updated it at this point. This guy must have coal, yeah, and we put some coal in this one. So we are good to go, or came with it, I guess. So we are good to go. We have plenty of power again. Shouldn't run into problems for a very long time. That's going to do it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll finish out the build of the rebuild of the top of the tower. Just to kind of preface what we're going to do, or preview what we're going to do, I think there's going to be pneumatic tubes here. There will be several for different departments. Those will go up in the building into those different places. So when a reporter or a photographer comes in, they come up here because they have to. Instead of waiting for the elevator to get to the floor and hand deliver it, they'll drop it in the tube. It'll shoot up here, and we're going to have these floors organized with assemblers and typesetters and all that in their own rooms to make it a lot more efficient that way. So looking forward to finishing that up, and I hope you'll join me for it. But until next time, fair travels.